So today we're diving into the 9 nights of Navaratri and the absolutely incredible goddesses they honor. But this isn't just a list of names. It's a single epic saga, a story of love, loss, unbelievable power, and, the creation of the universe itself. Let's get right into it.
That's the key, right? Over these 9 nights, we're actually tracing the journey of one single divine being as she transforms again and again to face every single challenge the cosmos can throw at her. And it all revolves around the festival of Navaratri.
So at its heart, Navaratri is this amazing 9-day, 9-night festival that's all about honoring the different forms or avatars of Goddess Durga. Each day is like a new chapter in her incredible journey. And our story, well, it doesn't start with some cosmic battle. It starts with a really heartbreaking family drama. Okay, so let's start with the goddess's personal journey. This first part of the story is all about love, disrespect, tragedy, and then, ultimately, rebirth. Believe me, it sets the stage for everything that comes next. It all kicks off with Sati, who is a form of the supreme goddess. She falls in love with and marries Lord Shiva, but her father, the powerful King Daksha, totally disapproves. He just sees Shiva as this wild ascetic. So, to really drive the point home, Daksha throws this massive ceremony and invites literally everyone, except Sati and Shiva. Sati decides to go anyway, hoping to smooth things over, but instead, her own father publicly humiliates her husband. And Sati, unable to bear that dishonor, makes this devastating choice. She sacrifices herself in the ceremonial fire. That one act of grief and defiance sends shockwaves through the entire cosmos. But the story doesn't end in tragedy. From those very ashes, she is reborn. This time as Parvati, the daughter of Himavan, who is the king of the Himalayas. In fact, her name, Shailapotri, literally means daughter of the mountains. And this is the form we worship on the very first day of Navaratri. It's all about a fresh start, a new beginning, and this divine destiny to find her way back to Shiva. Now, Shiva, who's still heartbroken over Sati, has gone into the super deep meditation, totally cut off from the world. So to win him back, Parvati undertakes this absolutely extraordinary penance for thousands of years. She gives up every comfort, living on just leaves before giving up food and water altogether. This incredible form of pure, unwavering devotion is known as brahmacharini, and she's who we worship on day 2. So these first 2 days, they're all about her personal strength and resolve. And it's a good thing, because that resolve is going to be needed not just for herself, but to save the entire universe. All right, so her personal journey is established. Now, the story just explodes in scale. The goddess isn't just fighting for herself anymore, she's called upon to save all of existence from being completely overrun by demons. So, here's the situation. A crisis is brewing, all because of this demon king, Mahishasura. He's so powerful that he and his armies actually defeat the gods, take over the heavens, and throw the whole universe into total chaos. The gods have to flee, and they run straight to the top, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, begging for a solution. And the solution they come up with, it's just incredible. The Trinity and all the other gods, they focus all of their divine energy into one single point. And from this energy, they create a magnificent, all-powerful female warrior. To arm her, every god gives her their absolute best weapon. Shiva gives his trident, Vishnu his discus, Indra his thunderbolt, the sun god even gives her a sword and a mighty lion to ride. She literally becomes the embodiment of all their power combined. Now, this divine warrior energy, she actually takes on a few different forms, including Chandraghanta, who we worship on day 3, and Katyayani on day 6. And in these fierce forms, she just unleashes on Mahishasura's army. And in a battle that is both swift and decisive, she defeats the demon king himself. This is what earns her that famous name Mahishasura Mardini, the slayer of Mahishasura. But just when the gods thought they could finally relax, a new threat pops up, a demon named Raktabija, and he had a power that seemed completely unbeatable. And get this, here's why it was so tough to beat. On one side, you have Raktabija's insane power. Every single drop of his blood that hit the ground instantly created a perfect clone of himself. So the more she fought him, the bigger his army got. It was a total nightmare. But then you have Kalaratri's solution on day 7. It was as brilliant as it was terrifying. She transformed into this fearsome form and drank every last drop of his blood before it could even touch the earth. Problem solved. Menace over. Okay, so we've seen her as this incredible, fierce warrior.
right? Well, now the story shifts focus again. It pulls back to show us her role not just as a destroyer of evil, but as the creator and the nurturer of all life.
So on day 4, we meet Kushmanda, and her name literally tells you the whole story. Ku means little, Ushma means energy or warmth, and Anda means a cosmic egg. So put it all together, she is the one who created the entire universe, a little cosmic egg with nothing more than her divine smile.
And think about that for a second. It's a pretty profound idea, right? The scriptures say that she actually lives in the very core of the sun, and it's her glow, her radiance, that provides all the light, warmth, and energy that makes life possible across the entire cosmos. She's not just a protector, she is the very source of our existence.
Okay, let's circle back to her personal story for a minute. Remember how Shiva was in meditation? Well, during that time, another demon named Tarakasur got a boon that he could only be killed by a son of Shiva. And since Shiva was a recluse with no kids, this seemed like a pretty solid guarantee. But, as we know, Parvati's intense penance as brahmacharini totally worked. She and Shiva were finally united. And from their divine union, a son, Kartikeya, also known as Skanda, was born. He grew up to become the commander of the gods' armies, and you guessed it, he fulfilled the prophecy and defeated Tarakasur.
And that brings us right to day 5. In her role as the mother of the great warrior Skanda, she is worshipped as Skandamata. And this form is just this beautiful symbol of that perfect mix of a mother's love and the kind of strength it takes to raise a champion who literally saves the world.
Now, after all those fierce battles, especially as the dark-skinned Navaratri, the goddess wanted to purify herself. There are even stories of Lord Shiva playfully teasing her about her dark complexion. So what does she do? She went and bathed in the sacred waters of the Himalayas, and in this moment of pure magic, her dark skin literally separated from her, and she emerged glowing and brilliantly fair. This purified form, worshipped on day 8, is Mahagauri, and she's this powerful symbol of renewal and transformation. All right, we're here, the final day, and this is the ultimate revelation of the whole saga. This is where we finally understand her true identity, not just as a daughter or a warrior or a mother, but as the source of literally everything.
On day 9, we worship Siddhidatri, and this is where it all clicks into place. Before the universe, before time, there was nothing, just a void. Then a single ray of divine light appeared, and it took on a female form. This was Adi Parashakti, the original supreme goddess, and Siddhidatri is that primordial form.
So what does that mean? It means she is the mother of even the highest gods. Think about that. From her, the trinity of Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the destroyer all emerged. She guided them, and as Siddhidatri, which means the giver of mystical powers, she gave them the siddhis, all the supernatural powers like invincibility and omniscience that they needed to do their cosmic jobs. She is, quite literally, the power behind all power.
And there you have it, the whole epic saga. Over 9 nights, we get to see this incredible journey from a devoted daughter to a fierce warrior, from the creator of the universe to the ultimate source of all reality itself. Which, of course, leaves us with one final thought. Out of all these forms, the devoted, the fierce, the creative, the all-powerful, which one embodies a power that our world needs most right now? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this one.